Hey, you're up.
Okay, we're ready. Hi. Everything, you've got me on camera. We're all good. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. It's good to see everybody. Thank you for joining me. We're doing something different today. We're in my living room because there are some things that sometimes I don't feel like cooking. And I wanted to show you some of the things that I do that are help me relax and also that help me think. Sometimes I get too tired of thinking. I get in my mind and I get sick of being there, so I have to get out and do something mindless and boring. But I was going through our hall deck, our deck closet. I'm sorry, hall deck, our deck closet, and I found some things that I hadn't seen in years. Some of these are 30, 40 years it's been since I've seen these things, and I wanted to show them to you. First of all, I have to apologize for being AWOL, absent without leave, last week. We had a lot of rains this past few days. Last week I was not feeling well, things were happening, and household things, plumbing issues, things of that nature. This past weekend, I've had migraines just about all day, every day. And the rains have stopped, and I am feeling so much better. And I wanted to do a stream today, but not in cooking. We'll do that. We'll continue doing that. I've got lots of ideas for you that. But I want to show you what I found going through my deck closet. First of all, let me show you this. This is a crocheted Afghan. Looks like a box of crayons, doesn't it? This is all, this is something that some friends of mine, when I was many years ago, and this is the other side. This is the orange and warm colors, cool colors. Looks like a box of crayons. Um, I put this together when my first husband he was in the Navy. We were stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, and he was out to sea. And so he wasn't around. I mean, he would be gone for 6 to 9 months at a time. He was on a carrier, aircraft carrier, in the Mediterranean most of the time. So for 3.5 years, I was in Norfolk, Virginia, and the people I worked with, we did crafts together. And this Afghan right here was something that I got a pattern for. I don't have the pattern anymore, but I can recreate it, I'm sure. It's all single crochet, and it was a fun thing to do. It was everybody did a certain part because each one of these was sewn together. This is a separate crayon. We sewed the crayons together to come up with this Afghan. It was so much fun. But I noticed that I thought, wouldn't it be nice to show people, my viewers, how to do crochet? Now, there's a story behind this, so just a real quick story. When I was growing up, I wanted to learn how to crochet. It was very complicated to me. It looked complicated. And I asked my mom, can you teach me how to crochet? I remember being very disappointed that she did not know how to crochet. She knew how to knit. She did not know how to crochet. She could do needlepoint, but she didn't do cross stitch, counted cross stitch. They didn't have counted cross stitch at the time I was asking this. They had cross stitch, stamped cross stitch, and embroidery. She didn't do that. She did knitting and needlepoint. So show me how to knit, and she did. And I bless her every day for showing me how to do that. But I was disappointed that she didn't crochet. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to crochet. And watching people do crochet was too complicated. The hands, I couldn't get the hands. So when I was in high school, my school took a time every 2 years. They took 2 weeks out of January called mini session, where we could take non-academic classes. You can, if you want to learn how to play the piano, if you want to, you could take that class. If you want to learn how to ride horseback, you can take that class. Well, lo and behold, a class came up where I could learn how to crochet. Thank you. I finally learned how to crochet, and my first attempt was terrible. Oh my goodness, it was awful. I don't even have a sample to show you. I usually keep samples, but um, I learned how to crochet. Then I taught my mom how to crochet. She taught me how to knit. I taught her how to crochet, and she's told me it was a blessing for the rest of her life because it gave her time to sit and think. So I know that you guys can find how to crochet on um, YouTube on other, vehicles to learn how. But I noticed that those videos show somebody crocheting for you. They don't really slow it down enough for you to get an idea of how to get that yarn on the hook, how to bring the hook through the loop. That's what I'm going to show you, and how to crochet, and how to knit. I'm going to how you cast on and cast off with knitting. Um, it's r- really a lot. It just gives you a chance, your brain, to just decompress and create something really pretty at the time. So, but I wanted to show you some of the things that I found here in my little baskets or containers of my history, my craft history. This is something I bought just last week. I was going to show you how to do macrame, but I realized that I didn't have all the materials I need, so that's coming. That'll probably be next few weeks. But anyway, you're going to need something like this for your macrame. I'll give you all the stuff you'll need to get before we do it. But macrame is up, it's back, it's up and coming again, and it's a fun thing, and you can make really beautiful. I had a beginner craft, macrame on my walls in my room growing up. So I learned how to do that. So, and that's something I can show you how to do too. And you can just let your imagination run with it. Once I knew how to do all these things, I ran with it. I had so much fun running with it. So anyway, what's in this container down here, I'm going to pick this up to show you, is I can't bring you down there to see it. This is some of the yarn.
Plus the board and everything for
Uh-huh.
all the materials, they can get that at like either Michaels or Joann Fabrics,
Yes,
right?
yes. Go ahead and get at any craft store, Michael's. You can get this at Michael's, or you can get it to your local um, Walmart or Target. Any of those stores that offer, go to the craft section, you can get any of this. So this is the yarn I was putting
Watch out
together.
with Target; they happen to discontinue things like crazy.
Yes, and this is something that I was putting together. I just didn't get a chance to finish it. This is the knitting, 2 needles, and I was making the pink pussy hats. There was an abundance of yarn in the stores, pink yarn. So I was going to make pink pussy hats. There's nothing bad about that name, about that word. There's nothing bad about it, so I felt perfectly comfortable saying it. But that's what this was for. This is something I can show you too. I'm really not going to show you. I can show you how to do crochet. That was my plan for today. But I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what I have here.
No, there's nothing bad
Now,
about it.
the,
It's just a
now, now,
box having
now,
words.
yeah, the connotation. Well, yeah, the interpretation is there. But here are a lot of books that tell you how to do things that I've had collected over the years.
A lot of
Okay,
those aren't in print anymore.
a lot of no, they're not. For instance, this. This is an Afghan. This is a crocheted Afghan. And I have the directions here. I can show you how to do this. And really show you, slow motion, show you, and walk you through it if you want. But I have all of these wonderful patterns here. And I can make it easy for you to follow the patterns because it's very easy for you to get all of these things. But reading the direction is like reading Witch's Brew or stereo instructions. If you remember stereo instructions, it's not easy. You need a guide, a separate guide to tell you what SLSP means. It's slip stitch. That's what that means. But YO means yarn over. But here's what one of the paragraph in one of these directions for this Afghan is. This is about 50 years old. Well, maybe 45. Anyway, this pattern is 45. Okay, here's what it reads. It reads join avocado at any ch-1 sp semicolon ch3 2dc in same sp comma ch1 drop loop off hook. Okay.
Okay, that's like trying to understand
Yes,
HTML.
yes. And there is nothing here to tell you what this means. So I will tell you what it means was join avocado in chain 1 space, chain 3, then 2 double crochet in same space, chain 1, drop loop off hook, insert hook in any corner, chain 3. That's what that meant. So reading these is like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm not kidding you. That's what it was. Yeah, you'll know when I start doing these, and put the instructions for you, you'll know what it means. You'll know what these things mean. But this is just some of the things that I've collected over the years. Now, when I was in Norfolk, Virginia, I was part of the Embroidery Guilds of America group, and we did embroidery once a month. We got together as a group, and anybody could join. It was mostly women, but mostly Navy wives too, or local women. But we would all get together once a month and we would do different stitch projects. And some of these and they would have a monthly newsletter too. One of these monthly newsletters is just absolutely hysterical. And I found it, I don't know, I wish I kept a lot of these, but I didn't. I didn't think to do that. But some of them are just fun things. So, and then so that's the knit and crochet, which I can show you how to do. In fact, I might just do that right now. Come to think of it. Anyway, I'll get it ready for you. That's that. Now I have this other container here. Let me show you this. And this is where you can get really carried away with your projects. These are my kits. This is my leftover embroidery thread. After 40 years, 50 years, these are just the extras, the spares. These are the kits that I've put together. I like this particular kit. It only came with the picture and instructions. I had to get all the materials together. So I put it all together and, so it's ready to go when I want to do it. Then I promptly went into this container here. I never saw it again until just now. This is about 20 years ago. Now I have these, here. I really want to do this pattern. This is what the pattern came as. I have to get all the instructions, all the ingredients, stuff to put this together. So that's what I have to do. This is what I learned to do when I was in Norfolk, Virginia. Now, this is I have to show you this. This is 50 years old. It was my mom's. This was a crochet hook set that I got her for Christmas one year. She willed it to me, of course. These are gold plated. You can't get this set all together like this anymore. It doesn't come like this. But this is all you need to do a great crochet project. Just learn how to read the directions. And I will tell you how to do that if that's what you want to do. Usually they'll come in, the crochet hooks will come like this, which is just as good. Just as good. It's just this brings back memories. This brings back fond memories. And then I bought a set for myself because I knew Mom was going to be using hers and I'm going to be using mine. And mine has been used so often that I actually lost a hook. I don't know where the hook is. No idea. But anyway, so these are just things that, and what else do I have here? Oh, and these little kits right here, these little needlepoint kits. Needlepoint, this is on painted canvas right here. So all you have to do is just match the color of the yarn to the canvas. And this is something good you can you take on an airplane with you or when you're in the car on long drives or something like that. You're a passenger, long drives.
These days they won't allow the.
They will.
No, they won't. The reason why they won't allow those on the plane. I had to unmute myself. They won't allow those on the plane because the needles are against TSA nowadays.
No, they're not.
No, they one person actually got in trouble for it. They will not allow those.
No, they're not. They loosened those restrictions. I can bring my knitting needles onto an airplane now. Now, post 9/11, absolutely, they had to take precautions. We couldn't have we couldn't have embroidery scissors. We couldn't have needles. We couldn't have anything sharp on us. But if you declare this to TSA and it's the right size, you can bring this onto the plane with you. I have a pair of folding scissors that that I use. I have to find them somewhere. They're here somewhere. But I have a pair of folding scissors. You can bring this on the plane. It's a great way to kill some time if you don't want to be on your computer all the time.
Okay,
Yes.
so this is the up-to-date rules on it. I stand corrected because it has been updated. Can you bring embroidery needles on a plane in general? Security personnel and airlines allow you to take embroidery needles in carry-on luggage in the plane.
Yes.
So it is now allowed.
Yes. And I can tell you that because I'm a crafter.
However,
Mm-hmm.
there's another thing that was asked. Can I bring embroidery needles through TSA? In general, you may place your knitting needles and needlepoint tools in carry-on or checked baggage.
Mm-hmm.
Circular thread cutters or any other cutter or needlepoint tools that contain blades must be placed in checked baggage. You are permitted to keep scissors smaller than 4 inches in your carry-on baggage.
Exactly. Yes, I have a pair of folding scissors, which I highly recommend. They're wonderful. I have to find them for you. When I do, I'm going to show you. I have a pair of folding scissors. You just pull it out, and very sharp, and you're going to need a pair of folding scissors for your kit. But
Yeah.
you can bring a kit with folding scissors onto the airplane.
Plus, these days, anything that is TSA approved is marked
Yeah.
on the items anyway.
As long as, yes, exactly. And I make it a point to let TSA know when I'm going through security that I have this stuff, and they can make a decision on whether I get to keep it or put it on checked bag. They usually let me go right through. It's always best to let them know first of all, so they're not surprised. Oh, that reminds me. Can I tell that a funny story about my M&Ms with peanuts?
Shit.
Let me tell you this story. This is just to let you know about TSA and how careful they are and good at doing their job. I was coming
Ridiculous.
back from Washington State for my nephew's daughter's baptism. Now, I like M&Ms with peanuts. I like to pop one in my mouth and just have it melt in my mouth until I get to the nut and peanut, then I'll chew the peanut. Well, I didn't leave them in the bag that they were sold in a commercial bag. No, I put them from there because I put a whole bunch of bags together, put it into one, regulation size baggie, plastic baggie, right? Okay. It's in my carry-on bag. My carry-on bag is going through security, going through the scanner, and my brothers and sisters have all gone through. My brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, my sister Felix, they've all gone through security. They're waiting for me. I'm the last one. I'm the caboose. I get pulled over. And the TSI, very professional young man, very professional, pulls me over and says, "Ma'am, is this your bag?" I said, "Yes." And I knew he was getting ready to tag me for something. He was so excited because I found one. I got one. That was the impression I got. He did not portray that to me, but that was just my feeling that, oh, I know what he's going. I don't know what he found in there, but okay. And he brings me over to the staging area where he unloads my bag, and I try to help him unzip. He says, "Ma'am, I can do it. Ma'am, I need you to stand back." That's what he said. "Ma'am, I need you to stand back." So I stand back. My hands are behind my head. Okay. What he found were my M&Ms with peanuts in my regulation size baggie. He thought it was drugs. I am positive that's what he thought it was. He didn't tell me that, but I've seen enough programs on smuggling to know that that's how sometimes drugs get in, is through, little regulation-sized baggies, and they were M&Ms with peanuts. It's a whole big fat-ass bag, M&Ms with peanuts, and he did a great job. He was so professional, so nice and kind, but I saw his face fall. It was like. "Okay, ma'am, thank you. You can pack your bag." So I got to pack my bag up and I went on. And I'm looking over, my brothers and sisters are looking at me. What the fuck, Nance? That was their expression. They didn't say that to me, but you're the one who gets pulled over. I was coming back from Italy. I was in Atlanta airport. My sister gets through just fine. I get stopped by security, the immigration guy. I don't know what it was. He asked me the same questions he asked people ahead of me. My sister sailed right on by. And he asked me, "Do you have anything that you haven't declared?" I said, "No, I have limoncello that I bought in Capri." And that's a fun story too, how I got that. But I have limoncello I bought in Capri. I have something else. I don't even remember what else I had. Oh, I had some rosary beads that I bought at the Vatican. And I said, "It's all there. Is there anything else I need?" He said, "No, ma'am, it's fine. You can move on." Okay, so I moved on. He didn't have to check my bag, but he stopped me. What? Are you kidding me? No, why? Why not her? Why not somebody else? No, me. So I'm glad I didn't forget to declare anything. And I would have paid, of course, if I'd had anything that needed to be declared. And, they're very understanding at airports. They understand that, people forget things, especially if you bought something small and you just forget to declare it. They're not going to penalize you for it. If you're doing it deliberately and they know you're doing it deliberately, you probably will, face whatever consequence there is for that. But this is what I really wanted to show you. Now, one of the things I noticed on the YouTube videos on how to do things is they'll show you them doing it. They won't show you how you can do it, but I want to show you some of the work that I've done over the years. This is one of my counted cross stitch. It's one of my counted cross stitch um, things. I haven't framed it yet. I haven't even blocked it or to press it out. But this is beadwork. You can do counted cross stitch with beadwork. And some of this is even foil uh, um, mm, stitching, threads. But this is Christmas angel. I just did it because it was pretty and I wanted to do it. It's not hard to do counted cross stitch with beadwork. It's not hard to do counted cross stitch. I can do this. I can show you how to do this. I can show you how to get started and how to, from a kit even, and how to, work the stitches. It's not hard. And it just keeps you mind so relaxed. But I wanted to share this with you just to show you some things that we can do. I don't have the patterns for these anymore. I threw them out because it took me a year to do it, and I was done with the pattern by then. I was never going to do it again. Never knew I was going to be doing this. But we can do things like this. This is one of the things I've done.
Future streams will do this.
Yeah. This is another one. This was the 1999, 1998, 1999 New Year's. I started this in 1998 and finished it up on New Year's Eve 1999. This is beadwork. This is beadwork too. It's all beadwork. Counted cross stitch. I don't even remember the era this was in. This was a fun pattern too. Cool Cats, it's called. And this is what the back looks like. Looks just like the front. Okay. Now, here's another one that I wanted to show you. This is the Angel of Spring. It's counted cross stitch. It's beadwork. I just have to press it and frame it. This is all beads, and it's not hard. None of this is hard. And I can show you how to do it. This is one where I bought the kit when I was on vacation in Southern California near San Luis Obispo with my sister. I just really like the pattern, so you can do this. But this is where I really want to show you. This needlepoint. This is 50 years old. This little thing here is 50 years old. I made it for my mom. My mom loved owls. And this is a pattern that I saw. I was copying down patterns everywhere. I was getting pictures. Oh, I can put that in needlepoint. This was one of her favorites. It's one of my first projects that I did when I was 15 years old, 14, 15 years old. So about 50 years ago. That shows how old I am. But it's one of, I kept it because my mom loved it. She was so fond of it, and it was hers. This is a picture of Grumpy, Disney's Grumpy. This was my father's drawing. My father was an artist. He could draw like the Dickens, like you couldn't believe. And he did not work for Disney, but he drew their characters. Well, this is an interpretation of his Grumpy. So I converted his drawing from the paper to a canvas. And I needed something else besides just this. So and this was freeform. This was not a pattern. I just made this up. I had my dad draw the skunk. So Grumpy is turning his back on the skunk here. So Dad had to draw the skunk in there. So I could have him turn his back on something, which was a lot of things. So these are just things that this is the needlepoint that you can do too. There's
If you guys
something
have any
else here.
questions, feel free to ask.
Feel free to ask. I know I'm boring today. I have to swing my way back into everything.
That's why it's a short stream today, too.
Yeah. Now this is a needlepoint pattern that I did that has different stitching altogether. It does not have the basket weave or the continental stitch. It's not just doing this or, like that's not what this is. This is going across. So, and that's my carousel horse. I love carousel horses. I collect pictures and things that have to do with carousel horses. But this is something that's easy too. If you're doing a needlepoint kit with continental stitch or basket weave, you can easily take a long time with it. But if you're doing a different stitch where you're doing pattern stitches, the pattern can go by so much faster. But again, I never did these to finish anything. I did them to kill time and quiet my mind. So here's what I would do. I would just sit here. Of course, I had different furniture at the time, but I still do this to this day. My television is in front of me behind this camera here. Here's my coffee. Here's my cat. Here's my blankie. I have a blankie. So I will sit here and I will put my feet up. This is a recliner. I'm not going to do that now. I'll sip my coffee. I'll pet the cat, go back to this, and I'll watch the television. That's how I kill my day, kill my evening. It was a way to just decompress and just to think. Sometimes you think. And then you have to check your thoughts because sometimes your thoughts can go into a direction it doesn't really need to go in. You can start to spin it in a way that is not meant. Incidents I remember. Well, what were they? This is the thought process. Well, what are they really thinking about? Did they really? I have to, and you can easily spin it in a way that was never meant to be spun, a thought. So you just check it and you just come back. Okay, then I'll look at the pattern. And, okay, distract me from that thought. But anyway, this is stuff that I'm going to show you how to do. I don't have my macrame, my original macrame. I still have to find it. I think it's somewhere around here, but I can show you how to do macrame too. Do a sampler. I can show you how to do all this. I'd like to. So again, this isn't a long stream. I'm still not 100%. I'm feeling better, but I'm not 100%. So, and I apologize for not, from being 100%, but I will get better. Anyway, I just wanted to show you these things. And one other thing before I close this out. This pattern right here. This was in 1989, 1990. Okay? And I show this to you because I think it looks pretty. I think it looks proportional, everything like that. And I mentioned this, I preface this with saying there is not one stitch other than this fan right here that is in order. Everything else is one stitch off. I realized it after I finished the pattern. I'm looking at it, I'm looking at this going, everything here is not right except for the mask right here. But it came out perfectly. And then so you can, improvise and still get away with it. Especially with this stuff. So anyway, that's really all I had for today. I will be better on Friday. I will actually show you how to Oh, this is my first counted cross stitch. Very first counted cross stitch in Chicago, 1983, 84. I did this during my lunch break at work. Lived in Joliet, took the Rock Island train to downtown Chicago, the Loop. It's called the Loop. Downtown Chicago is called the Loop. And this is my first counted cross stitch. So I just have memory for these things. Anyway, everybody, again, thanks so much. Thank you for being patient with me. I'm so sorry that I'm not 100%, but I'm getting better, and I will be better. So we'll be back again on Friday, and I'll be more practical with what I'm showing you. Okay, Friday I will show you how to start crochet. It's not hard. It looks hard. It looks complicated. It's not. It's really not. And you can make some beautiful things, and just find yourself just vegging out doing this, and just maybe put on some music, listen to the television, because you won't be watching it. You'll be doing this, so you won't be watching it. But if you want to go an electronics-free weekend without your smartphone or your tablet or anything, you don't want to do anything electronic, just I can show you how to sit here and kill time doing cross stitch, needlepoint, knitting, any macrame, just about anything. I can't do woodwork or pottery because I live in a condo, and from my understanding from pottery is you have to kiln it. You have to have a kiln at very, very high temperature. I can just see myself setting this whole place on fire with that. No. I mean, I'm afraid of the oven when it gets to 425, in this place. So there's no way I'm going to be able to do one of those,
Yeah, no.
do a pottery. But I can show you other things to how to do that too, if you want to know. It's up to you. I'm going to do it anyway. But thank you for sharing. Anyway, thank you so much. This is again a short stream. I will see you on Friday. Thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it. Enjoyed it. And I will see you Friday. Thank you.